Good afternoon to everyone present here for this seminar on why SolidWorks Electrical. For people who don't know me, I'm Ash Premnath. I have a master's degree in engineering science in electrical and electronics. I am the electrical and electronics product specialist in the company. You could see my contact details up here, my email address and my handphone, and you guys can contact me if you have any further questions after this demo. Let's look at the agenda for the session today. Why SolidWorks Electrical? SolidWorks Electrical 2D and 3D, the product suite that we have to offer you, return of investment based on an average project that I took into consideration, like a 50-page project, and the demo for the product overall. Why SolidWorks Electrical? Let's look at some of the features for the schematic professional standalone package we have. It has synchronized single line and schematic drawing, so you can have one main engineer do the whole line drawing and pass it on over to other designers, and they can do their more in detail schematic drawing based on the line drawing provided by the head engineer, or even they can have an overlook of how the whole project is connected. Automatic wire numbering. Click on one button and all the wires in your schematic drawing are numbered automatically. 2D cabinet layout. Even before you pass on the information to the 3D mechanical CAD engineers, you can have a layout of how your cabinet looks, and you can ask your 3D engineers to work on the same layout, or you can use the same 2D layout to wire or to change the order of the wires. Automated PLC. Are you kidding me? You can have just one configuration and click on the button. The PLC is automatically drawn with the template that you want, the PLC mark that you want, the symbol that you want, and even the macros for the circuit that you have selected will be drawn automatically. And this configuration becomes your database. You can use it over and over again. The same way, automated terminal drawings based on the schematic drawings that your engineer has done. Clicks on the button and then he gets a complete terminal drawing and can be shown to the staff to know where different cables are connected and different symbols are connected also. Automated BOM. Based on the schematic drawing done, you already have a BOM being updated every single second in real time, and if you want the BOM to be updated in your drawing, just click on generate drawing and the whole BOM is created for your project. Manufacturer's ECP online database. Yes, we do boast of a huge database of manufacturers' components, which has 3D models, 2D models, symbols, and even the catalogs for the data parts that we require online. And you can download them at any given time you want, and you can use it further in your project. Finally, the SQL database for synchronization. Everything so far that I said is synchronized by the SQL database, so it means it has a proper standard of synchronization and all your data is kept up to standard and up to date. Let's look at SolidWorks Electrical 3D, which is a plugin to your SolidWorks CAD. Wiring for cabinet. Based on the schematic drawings done and the components you've done, you can click on the button after placing the components that we have, and finally you would have the routed wires shown. The cable routing, again based on the schematic drawing, for the exact terminal points your cable is routed through your conduits and then put up in their specific connection points. Once the cable is drawn, you can flatten them out, and this cable with the connectors can be sent over to the manufacturer to show them how the cables are supposed to be manufactured, cut, trim, and what kind of connectors they need also. The 3D model online database can have their own, or you can create your own 3D model and add them into the manufacturer database with their line drawing, schematic drawing, 3D models, and even the 2D models put together. So one click of the button, all the whole catalog with the models are put into your project. Segregation manager, the most important section, or what I consider might be useful for most of the people here, is You can have specific ducts or even conduits selected and tell them that you need not want specific wires to pass over them, or you can have the same specific conduits or ducts selected to have specific wires to pass over them. So you can segregate your power line on one side and your data line on the other side. You can just have the segregation manager set up and you need not change the route again. SolidWorks takes care of routing your data based on your needs. What is SolidWorks Electrical put together? SolidWorks Electrical comes in as two packages, as the SolidWorks Electrical Schematic package, which is a standalone that an electrical engineer would completely use to do his electrical drawings, harnessing, cabling, wiring, whatever it is in the electrical side. In the 3D side, we have the SolidWorks Electrical 3D, which is a plugin onto your existing SolidWorks model, which can take information from the electrical schematic standalone package and automatically route them. So you can give this over to your mechanical engineer and he already knows most of the electrical project that you're doing even without any electrical knowledge. That's how simple it is to use SolidWorks Electrical 3D. And just because they are of electrical importance, they are synchronized at real time. Any update done in the schematic software gets updated in your electrical 3D, and vice versa. Any update done here is updated here in your schematic in real time. What are the product suites that we have to offer? The Electrical Schematic Professional, which is a standalone package in which you can do line drawings, schematic harnessing, cabinet layouts, terminal strip management, cables and wire management, and BOM also. This is a standalone package and the electrical engineers get to use this in their own computers. Whereas the Electrical 3D is a plugin onto the SolidWorks CAD, and what it can do is the 3D modeling of your cabinets. Your components in 3D library can be imported and placed. Automatic wiring based on the schematic line drawing and the harnessing that you put up here. Wiring are done automatically. Cable lengths are determined based on the 3D model put up here, and this cable length is automatically updated into your report, cable and wire lengths. And finally, your 3D harnesses can be flattened out just like the cable also and put up for manufacturing. And we have another suite called Electrical Professional, which comes in with the Electrical 3D and the Electrical Schematic Professional as a combined package where one person uses both 3D and the 2D software. If you think that we have too many features in the Electrical Schematic Professional, we also have another product which has the same importance as the Schematic Professional, which has the same SQL database, and it can still do all the schematic cabinet layouts, harnessing and stuff like that, but the important part of integration between 3D is lost in our SolidWorks Electrical standard. This is a basic ROI analysis of an electrical project with up to 50 pages that is taken into consideration. Previously, when a system design took 24 hours, SolidWorks automates it by 25%. So now you spend only 18 hours on the same system design. Part sourcing from catalog took 4 hours. Now it takes only 50% of your time because most of the parts are already available in the database online. This 50% that you spend is to set up your database for the first project, and from then on you already have the database set up and you won't have any sourcing or sourcing for catalogs to be done further. So this is just for the first project that you will be spending the time on. Wire numbering, device tagging and cross-referencing management is already automated by SolidWorks by 100%, so you save so much hours for up to 9 hours. Terminal strip is automated by 80%, so you spend only 0.6 hour in working with your terminal strip. So the terminal strip is automatically generated based on your system design. Just because you've already spent 18 hours on the system design, the BOM is automated. Wire from to list is also automated. And when you come up here, the other types of BOM are like the length of the wires and the cutting, trimming, the tagging of your wires and the components are also automated 100%. So you don't spend any time on BOM generation in electrical project. The only time that you would be spending is for accounting for your BOM, where you can still export this as an Excel sheet from SolidWorks Electrical, copy and paste it, and you can work on the accounting. So you will only spend a fraction, 1/10 of your time spent on accounting previously. And 80% of your document checking is automated by SolidWorks, so you won't have so much time to spend also. So putting all together, in a project that you were spending up to 50 hours, now it's reduced up to 21.5 hours. So your total savings is up to 28.5. If you closely look, in SolidWorks Electrical, system design is the most important part, and hence everything else is automated. System design has also a reduced time, and once you spend 18 hours on this completely, you have most of your project done by SolidWorks itself. Let's look at the return of investment that you might get with SolidWorks Electrical. So the total you spend on the software subscription and training for the first year is 17,700, and this extra for catalog service is when you need some other components that are specifically manufactured by you, are not available on the online database, is the only time when you would be spending on this, or else even this cost is nil. So if you see, in the first year itself, you get back your money the same level that you've spent on the software, and from the next year you spend only so much. So your savings for 3 years put together is totally so much. Now let us take a look at the demo for the product. SolidWorks Electrical Schematic Professional. This is the standalone package that helps you do the 2D drawings and layouts. This is a typical line diagram drawing done in SolidWorks Electrical. Now let's add a symbol here. Click on Insert Symbol and the previously used symbol automatically comes up. Just take it to wherever you want and then place it. That's how easy it is to add your symbol here. Once added, you can change the location of your components also. For example, let me change it to L4. The reason we do this here is we have 3D modeling also done for our components. The reason, once we do that, we can easily find where our motor is put. If you see here, our motor M5 does not have any metadata information. Let's see how that gets updated based on the schematic drawing. Now let's have this connected to our terminal. Draw cables from here to up to our terminal strip. That's how easy it is to draw a wire in SolidWorks Electrical. Now moving on to the schematic drawing, I already have all the motors drawn. So if you want the same circuit, you can just copy the whole circuit, Control C and Control V, and the circuit is done. So you save plenty of time there. If you still want to draw your own drawing, that's simple. Insert your symbol from your schematic drawing. Again, the last used symbol comes up, or click on other symbol to see the list of symbols from here. Let me use the used symbol already. I'll add my motor, and we already have our schematic line drawing done, which is motor M5. Add that there. And now let's add a manufacturer part for our schematic drawing. And let's search for the same part, LS112 4P. Once you select, everything turns green saying the symbol and the manufacturer part is right. Add it to our bill of material, select, and OK. Now we have our metadata information put up in the schematic drawing, and it gets updated in our line drawing automatically. Let's draw our wires here. Multiple wires. Just select the number of wires you need to draw, and even if it's not the right wire, SolidWorks selects the right wire based on the wire you've selected it from, and once you end the command, they automatically get trimmed based on the symbol you've drawn. So you reduce your time in trimming the wires also. You can Control C your symbol and Control V, just paste them there. Once you paste them, it takes up the next possible number, but I know based on my line drawing this is not the symbol that I want. I can go up to symbol properties again. Look at the list of symbols here. K4 is the one that I need. Yes, K4, and okay, that's how K4 is selected. And another way of searching for a symbol is from the shortcut here. Search for anything that's 3-pole. Pictorially it shows me everything that's under 3-pole. Drag your symbol and drop them here. Once your symbol is dropped, if you have a line drawing symbol that you have to select, just go and select them or leave it, and SolidWorks selects the next possible number from here. You can also see a pictorial representation of what symbol you would be adding. Okay, and then your symbol is added there. Now let's add a terminal strip here. Let's insert n terminals. The symbol is fine. I'll add 4 terminals here, and if you see here, we don't get the list of all the components, and we get only the list of terminals that we are using in this project. So selecting X1, it knows this is the terminal strip and it takes the next available number in this terminal strip. OK for all terminals, and my terminals are drawn automatically. The important feature here in SolidWorks is the terminal strip manager, where we have all the terminal strip put up here. Opening that shows me the number of terminals and the cables and the components added to it. Let's make this as cables, 4 cores for motor M5, associate cable cores. Let's look at the list of cables we have. W9 is a used cable, so that's why it's shown in blue, and you can see the course it's being connected to. W10 is free. Let me select that and associate my cable course. Once it's done, that's it. My cable is automatically done. And let's add manufacturer part for all 4. Assign manufacturer part, and need to search for 2001. Comes up from my database. Add it to my bill of material, and all 4 get the same manufacturer part. So now we have a cable updated here and for a motor. In some cases you might have few drawings being used over and over again. In this case, let me open up another schematic drawing. Here I need this transformer circuit. Let me just select everything, drag them and put them under my macros, where I can give them specific names, and from now on this circuit is available in all the projects and the drawings that I will be opening up in the same computer. I can just drag my circuit back again, put it onto the existing connection here. Just because it was from a different drawing, we get this paste special option where we can choose different component numbers, wire numbers and equipotential numbers. If you have doubt in selecting what they are, just click on finish. SolidWorks does the work for you by selecting the possible available numbers. If you still think that it's wrong, you can select your symbol properties and search for any symbol that you want. T1 for example. That symbol comes up, add that, and it's done. The same way, let's search for our contactor Q6. Enter. The breaker comes up. Okay. And that's how our symbol can be modified even after they are being drawn. We need origin and destination arrows for this. Clicking on the origin destination arrow manager opens up the existing drawing and the next possibly available drawing here. Let's add single insertion. Once we select a wire in this drawing, when I move over to the next drawing, only the possible connection is shown. Even by mistake, I won't be able to select another wire that is not possible to be added. Let's select that, and the green wire automatically goes up to the green wire. Add that, close. So this goes up to schematic drawing number 7, row number 1. Opening up drawing number 7, row number 1, comes in from drawing number 5, row number 11, like that. So that's how simple it is to do your schematic drawing in SolidWorks Electrical. Once all this is done, you can just move over to the SolidWorks CAD package where you have the electrical 3D plugin added, and all your updates done in the schematic drawing are updated here. Let's add our symbols here, our 3D model. From our chassis, I have so many connectors and a transformer. I'll multi-select them, insert all, so I get the list saying this is the order you are inserting them in. I don't want this order. Let's change it to like that, T1 in between the 6 contactors, and I select OK. Now I get one of the first contactors, which is K1, and this is the 3D model associated to it. Moving the contactor already over the rail, if you see, they get attached there. If it's not on the rail, the connector goes haywire. Just put it on the rail, click on it, and then you can see it asks you where you want to space and which side you want to space the other components to. To the right is the right answer, and 15 mm let me have them as the spacing. Click on OK, and based on the order that you had selected previously and the 15 mm spacing, SolidWorks does a modeling of all the 6 contactors and the transformer based on the distance you put up here, and they are automatically put in our 3D model. Since they are locked together, we can move them and you can still update them based on the length and aligning your component here. So same way, let's add our terminals. Insert terminal. I'll just add my first terminal, and the same question is asked, 0 mm spacing to the right. OK, and SolidWorks again takes up all the terminals from the schematic drawing, 20 terminals. Based on the width from our 3D model, all the 20 terminals are put up here like this. Next, let's add a door component. We have a light sensor, light. Let's insert that. Move over to the door plate. It automatically mates, but it's in the wrong direction. No worries. Just click on tab, changes the direction. Add a component here. This is how I want it to mate, and because it's electrically important, click on the smart feature and select the face that you want. Once you've done all this, based on the 3D model that you've added here, the BOM for your door plate is automatically updated to have a hole for the exact diameter that the light bulb needs to go in. And not just the diameter, SolidWorks also considers the type of hole that it needs. If it's a screw type, it has grooves in it. If it's a plug-in type, it does not have groove, just a hole in it. So that's how even the mechanical BOM is updated based on the electrical components put up here. Now, if in case you need some other 3D model that is already not available for you guys, you can have even your mechanical engineers create a model. For example, this motor was created by my colleague. I can make this motor as my electrical motor M5, choosing my motor M5 from the list of locations here. M5, right click and then associate. It asks for which component to be associated. Select the model. This is the motor, and OK. Now even if motor M5 had some other model put on it, we can still change it to the 3D model that you want. Once all our models are being put, we can route our cables. I'll route just for this motor M5, SolidWorks route, and click on OK. Again, SolidWorks Electrical 3D goes back to the schematic software, checking we've asked for the routing for this motor. Where does the route from this motor come up? It takes up the exact connection from the terminal strip to the motor first, and then SolidWorks checks for any electrical conduit or sketch path that is given, which it has to follow to route your wire. So if you see here, the orange connection is the wire. SolidWorks says that you cannot have a wire which has completely zero tolerance, so it has some lag and swag in it, so that in your physical world, this is how exactly your wire would be placed. So the cable turns up into different cores and gets connected to your motor terminals here exactly based on the schematic drawing. And also here, based on the schematic drawing, it selects the terminal that it requires to connect to. Going back to our schematic drawing, under reports, you could see the list of cables, bill of materials that are being automatically updated, and all the components put up here are updated automatically in real time. In the list of cables, based on the cable that we had wired, W10, we get the length of the cable also. So even before starting your project, working on the project, you will know the length of the cable that you need to order for. So you won't end up in having excess wires, or you won't go up and be like, oh, the cable that we calculated is too short, we don't have enough wire, or we need to add more wires. You won't have that kind of commotions anymore. Just like I told you before, under our libraries tab, you can have your symbols created by yourself, your 2D footprint manager, your manufacturer's part manager. You can create your own manufacturer part manager, or click on this online content, which takes you to the online database like that. where you need to create your own login details, and this login details allows you to have a grip on who can download stuff. Once under catalog, I'll show you how many manufacturer parts we have. These are some of the main manufacturers that come up. So we have around 141 million manufacturer parts altogether put in this online database. These are the number of cables that we have, the symbols that we have, the 2D footprints, and all this data is readily available for you to download and use them in your project. You can click on any manufacturer you want. If boxes and cabinets are the one that you want, download it from here, and in your electrical project just click on unarchive, and all the unarchived parts automatically comes up into your own database in this project, and you can use them further in your project. You can even have your own libraries put up here for your own company, and from then on you would be working on the same database that you have. That's the demo for the electrical product. Thank you guys for attending the session, and we'll take all the questions offline after the demo. Thank you.